Algebra, Equations, Exam Preparation Questions Part 5. You will find equations in the y equals mx plus c mathematics textbook, Part 1, Grade 10-11, from page 1 to 3. Now, what we're going to do now is looking at practical examples in this video. So let's just go to that page. Okay, so let's start with a practical example. Gail spends $48 to buy books that cost X dollar. I decided to leave the other currency because some of you are doing international Cambridge examinations or other examinations, and then you must get used to different currencies. So I decided to leave it in this exam preparation examples. Okay, so she spends $84 and the books cost X each. Write down an expression in terms of X for the number of books she can buy. So it's going to be 48 divided by X. Okay. Now, Mayra spends $60 to buy books that cost X plus 2 each. Now, Gail buys 4 more. So Gail buys 4 more than Mayra. But now it works like this. This is Mayra, this is Gail. At the end, I want to form an equation. Now, an equation means the sides must be equally. So if Gail is having the 4 more, I cannot put it with Gail. I must go and I must put it with Mayra in order for that equal sign to work. Okay, so you must keep that in mind. If it was in terms of an expression, it's fine. You can put it with Gail. But as soon as you want to put an equal sign, you put it on the other side. Okay. So now, what is Mayra going to spend? She's going to say, instead of 48, 60 divide X plus 2, and there is the plus 4. And there is Gail. So, do you see? This is Mayra, and this is Gail's side. Okay. Now, what I did in this example, I was first making this side one term, because there's 2 terms now. This is just a method I use, but I want to also show you our other method, because it doesn't matter. You can work with fractions now. So, but what I did here is I was putting it over 1, then I make it the LCM was X plus 2, okay, over 1, and this is why I got 60 plus that 4, X plus 2 over. I made it one term. Did you see? So because if I have one term over 1, I can cross multiply and I can just continue. Okay, but I want to show you another method also. So say for example, you said, no, I'm going to rather just go with the fractions because I can work with fractions now. So it's not one term over one term. Let's just go there. So it's going to be 48 over X. So what is the LCM? The LCM is going to be X plus 2. So I put a bracket, I multiply X plus 2. I multiply X plus 2. I multiply X plus 2. And now I start with the cancelling out. So this 2 cancel, I'll show you now, nothing there, and this X cancel. So I'm ending up with 60, I want to just show you I'll get the same. X plus 4X, X plus 2 equals 48 X plus 2. Now I'm just going to go a little bit until I reach this step to show you I'm the same. So it's going to be 60X plus 4x squared plus 8x equals 48x plus 96. And look there, 60, 4x squared, 8x, 48x plus 96. Okay, so it doesn't matter. Just get rid of the fractions, okay, by multiplying with the LCM. Now I simplify. Now, as soon as I could have put this step in, so it was just saying 16x plus 4x squared plus 8x minus 48x minus 96 equals 0. As soon as if I see quadratic, everything to one side. So there is the 4x squared. Then I say, in this case, 60, let's just see, 60, plus 8. So it's 60 plus 8 is 68 minus 48, and that's 20, and there's the 96. And then I divide by 4, and I get exactly what they wanted me to get. They wanted me to get this. So again, if you struggle with B, just leave B and at least go on with C and D. Okay, just use that correct answer. So they're actually helping you not to get 0 for this question. And then they were very nice. They said factorize. So you don't not use the formula. They want to see the factorization. It's like they are specifying completing the square. They specify by factorization. So then I'm just going to say, okay, this is group B. Then I'm just going to say 8 and 3 and 1 and 1. 8 minus 3, that's 5. The biggest over cross product is going to get a positive. This is a negative. This is x, x. So it's going to be x plus 8, x minus 3, 0. Then this equals 0, that equals 0. So x is equal to negative 8 or x is equal to 3. And then, now, you cannot buy a negative amount of books. So, but please, I want to emphasize this. Please don't write there not applicable. That was nothing to do with the practical question. They want to see both that answers. In this next question, now they bring in the practicals. They find the number. Now you can say, okay, not applicable. I will work with the 3. So please don't write it in step C. You can do it in D. Okay, and now I just put in, and they say find the number of books, Mayra. So it's 60, x plus, so it's 3 plus 2, so it's going to be 12. Okay, I'm going to do, this is actually, I was looking for, I was finding so much nice examples, practical examples, and I know that most of the students usually struggle with this, so I think I put 5 or 6 in. So what I'm going to do 2 or 3, then stop the video and then do another video on the next. But I want you to practice as many as possible, that it's almost like you are breaking that block and see that it's not really that difficult. Okay. So let's start. I think what we can do, I just want to see how many there are. Yes, I think what we're going to do is we see how we go in this page and then leave the next page for the next video. Or sometimes it's a bit long. Some of the sums can be a little bit too long. Okay, so let's start. I was giving a practical kind of one again, and it's different kinds, and it's usually leading to quadratic equations. And that's why you must first be very good in solving quadratic equations, that you can at least go to the second part of the questions. Okay, number 1. So do for me 1, 2, and 3. Okay, and again, do 1, stop, check everything. So Greta buys X apples, this oranges, and this amount of bananas. So underline it. Okay. The total number of pieces of fruit Greta buys is 30. Okay. So find the total number of apples Greta buys. So I'm going to start, and I'm going to say, let's just continue with yellow. So it's going to be x plus 7. So it's just adding up all of them. 2x minus 1. And I said it's 30. So that will all be equal to 30. So 1, 2, 3 is going to be 4x. Take it to the other side. So 30 minus 7 plus 1. So it's going to be 4x equals 24. I divide 4, and I get that the value of x is 6. What is the question? Find the number of apples Greta buy. So what was the apples? 6. So therefore, Greta is more Greta buys 6 apples. Okay, let's just do the next one. Number B. The cost of one apple is 15 cents. The cost of one orange is 18 cents. And the total cost of all the food, and now it's in dollar. Okay, so let's just start. So I think before we can do that, we have now how many apples. So let's just find how many oranges. So oranges, before we can, so just go, it's going to be x plus 7. So it's going to be 6 plus 7, and that's going to be 13. And then find the number of bananas. So bananas is going to be 2x minus 1. So it's 2, 6 minus 1, and that's going to be 11. Okay, and now I can start. So remember, this was 6. The number of oranges was 13. And what is the, find the total, find the cost in cents of one banana. Okay, so that is what I'm looking for that. So, okay. So let's just start by saying this. So it's going to be 6 times 15. 6 times 15, because that's the apples. It seems to me I didn't spell that correct. Apple, one apple. That's correct. Okay, one apple plus 13 times that 18. But I don't have the bananas. Do you see? So what I'm going to say is 11 times x. And now, because this is all in cent, I must take the dollar to cent. So I just multiply with 100 there. So it's 555. And again, I just solve this. So I get 90. I get 234. I get 11x. And I get 555. Okay. So if I'm going to add up this, so just add this up, I'm getting 324 plus 11x equals 555. Okay, so then I'm getting 11x equals 555 minus 324, and I'm getting 11x is equals to 231, and I divide both sides by 11, and I get the value of x is 21. What does that mean? That is meaning, therefore, the cost of one banana is 21 cents. Okay, that was a nice linear equation. Do you agree? Very nice, very simple, not even a quadratic equation. Okay, let's do the next one. So practical can be linear, it can even be simultaneous equations, it can be quadratic. They love asking quadratic, but it can also be linear. Okay, so let's start with number 2. So if I look at number 2, I'm just going to say, and they love working with shapes also. So the diagram shows a rectangle. All the measurements are in meters, so just keep that in mind. The area of the rectangle is 310. Okay, now this is a very basic one. I started very nice. Okay, so there is number 2. Oh, sorry, my pen. Okay. So I'm going to start by saying first, now it's if you look, a rectangle, you know that the opposites are equal. So to find that value of x, I can start this by first saying 5x minus 9 must be equal to 3x plus 7. That sides must be equal. So I'm going to say 5x minus 3x equals 7 plus 9, and that's going to be 2x, and that's equal to 16. So I divide 2, and I get the value of x is 8. Okay, now I'm just going to first, you can either substitute it now in any one of them. Okay, if you're going to say 5x minus 9, look, this is this. So it's 40 minus 9, and that's going to be 31. That's 31. Let's just make it red. But if you do it with the other one, you must get the same, otherwise you made a mistake. So if it's 3/8 plus 7, so this is 24 plus 7, that's 31. So I was just looking for this side, 31. Okay, now I tell you the area. So I say the area, what is the area of a rectangle? It's going to be length times breadth. So the area is going to be 310, and in the case, its length is 31, and I'm looking for W. Okay, and then I'm just going to divide by 31. I divide by 31, and I get that the value of W is going to be equal to 10. Work out the value of W. Okay, so 10 meters. So therefore, the breadth will be equal to 10 meters. Okay, so that was number 2. Not so difficult, bit different, but not so difficult. Okay, we stay to figures. And this is a typical, there's an example, nice example in the textbook. They love Pythagoras theorem. So if you see a triangle, just think Pythagoras theorem. Let's just see if it's going to go to that direction. So in this question, all the is in meters. They tell the same. Okay. The diagram shows a right angle triangle. So I'm thinking of Pythagoras theorem. Show. Now, what is Pythagoras theorem telling me? It's saying the short side, so it's going to be x squared. That's the short, the 2 forming the 90. So 2 and square is equal to the long side squared. That's what Pythagoras theorem. And now I'm just going to work it out. Now, can I just show you again? I'm just going to, that bracket is 2 times. I'm going to write it rather out here. I don't think it's so, because there's a positive, it's nice. Just be careful if there's a negative. So this is going to be 4. So if there's a negative, I will first put a bracket, but positive is not going to influence. So it's going to be 4x squared. If I multiply this, so negative 6x, and 3 times 3 is 9. Everything to one side, if it's quadratic, 0. So this is going to be 5x squared. This is going to be 12x. And 9 minus 36 is negative 27. And that's equal to 0. Okay, so that is what they want you to show. Again, if you cannot do A, then at least be able to do B. Now, if they say this, you must know it cannot factorize. So if they say solve, show you're walking and give your answer correct to 2 decimal places, you must know you must solve it with the formula. It cannot factorize. Okay, so then just go already B and just say 5x squared. I'm just writing it out again. Was not necessary. I start with the formula minus b plus minus b squared minus 4ac over 2a. And now I'm just going to say, oh, let's just get the pen again. Don't forget, this is a. Grab that sign b, grab that sign c. So it's going to be negative. Don't forget, write first the negative, then brackets. Please substitute, otherwise you will make a sign error there. Okay, and then negative 12 squared minus 4. The value of A is 5. The value of C is negative 27 over 2. And the value of A is 5. Okay, and now I'm just going to work it out quickly. So I'm just going to say, okay, this is going to be equal to 12 plus minus, this is 144 plus, and this negative times a negative is positive, and 4 times 5 times 27, that's going to be 540, and it's over 10, and it's 12 plus minus, and 684 over 10. And now don't forget, if you press it on the calculator, do it like this. 12 plus square root 684 equals divide 10. And I'm getting 3.82, or 12 minus square root 684 equals divide 10. and it is x equals negative 1.42. Remember, the question just say, solve. Please don't say not applicable already. That is just nothing to do with. Now they will bring in the practical when they come to number C. Say, calculate the perimeter of the triangle. Now you can say, oh, x, okay, let's just write it. At C you can say, negative 1.42 not applicable. Why? Distance cannot be negative. You cannot say, oh, this length of this line is negative 2 meters, centimeters. No. But now you can go on and you can say now, okay, the perimeter, so I first have to find all the values of that. So if I'm going to find all the values, I'm just going to say, so don't forget the perimeter. I can first write it just like this, the perimeter of the rectangle. And that is going to be, and let's just go back. We can first say x plus 2x minus 3 plus 6. So it's going to be x plus 2x minus 3 plus 6. Otherwise, you can work it separately out and then just add it. But it's fine. So I know now the value that I'm taking. Therefore, I'm taking the 3 point, and you can work with the approximated value. You must work with that. Okay, so it's 3.82 plus 2, 3.82 minus 3 plus 6. And that is going to be, you can just work it out, press it on the calculator, and it's going to be 14.46. And remember what they said? They said all the values, and this is going to be exact. So work with the exact answer. Otherwise, you can free significant figures, but rather work with the exact. And I think, yes, it's all in meters, and that's why it's going to be meters. In the next video, I will continue with practical examples.